Hello, it is Foundation Friday, May 6th, 2022. Steve Sipress here, and we are in our multi-part series on the fantastic foundational book, The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David J. Schwartz. Highly recommend you get yourself a copy of this. Otherwise, you can keep tuning in as we go through this multi-part series on this fantastic book, written I think over 60 years ago, and I first was handed a copy of it about, 30-something years ago, and changed my life. So I'm sharing some of those lessons here today. We continue in Chapter 7, Managing Your Environment. And it starts off with Dr. Schwartz sharing a story about attending a dinner party at a neighbor's house, and there were people from all walks of life there. And afterwards, he said he went up to the host and said, "Man, that was great, but I'm puzzled. I expected mainly to meet other retailing executives here tonight," because the guy owned a retail store. "But your guests all represented different fields. There was a writer, a doctor, an engineer, an accountant, and a teacher." And the host, the retail store owner, smiled and said, "Well, we often do entertain retailing people, but Helen and I find it's very refreshing to mix with people who do something else for a living. I'm afraid if we confined our entertaining to people who only have interests similar to our own, we would find ourselves in the old, well-known rut." Now, this is the same in your social life as it is in your business world. If you are a plumber and you hang out only with plumbers, and when you get the yellow pages, you only open to the plumbing section and you look at all the plumbing ads, and you go on to Google and you're always looking around at the other plumbing websites, and you're talking plumbing and you're reading the plumbing trade magazines, and it's plumbing and plumbing and plumbers and plumbing, and that's all you talk about, think about, who all you hang out with, you're going to get yourself into a rut. You want to join a vibrant group of sharp business owners from all different types of businesses so you can get all different kinds of perspectives. I've run business marketing masterminds over the years where you get a bunch of business owners together, and I've always insisted, hey, go ahead and make sure you do that. You join an industry-specific mastermind, and you attend your industry conferences, and you read your trade magazines and all that kind of stuff. But make sure that you get yourself around business people from other industries, especially in the marketing world. And this tip goes for you watching this video now that, okay, all the plumbers are doing this, but do they know what a very sharp attorney is doing across town that they could do also something similar? Maybe a restaurant owner is doing a certain thing. Then plumber goes, well, I'm not a restaurant owner. How does that apply to me? Well, how about you ask the question, how could I make that apply to me? And you can only do that if you're opening your mind to hanging out, whether it's in person or whether it's online in online meetings, or whether it's just hanging out by reading through all the ads in a Yellow Pages book, or going to all different kinds of conferences and meetings and getting yourself around all different kinds of business owners. So let's get back to the social aspect that Dr. Schwartz is talking about with us. He shares, oh, by the way, he also says that this retail executive added, besides, people are my business. Every day, thousands of people of every occupational group imaginable visit our store. So the more I can learn about other people, their ideas, their interests, their viewpoints, the better job I can do in giving them the merchandise and service they want and will buy. And I will add, the better you can do your advertising and marketing as well. So here are a few simple do's, 3 of them, to help make your social environment first class. Number 1, circulate in new groups. If you're restricting your social environment to the same small group, you will produce boredom, dullness, dissatisfaction, and equally important, remember that your success-building program requires that you become an expert in understanding people. Trying to learn all there is to know about people by studying one small group is like trying to master mathematics by reading one short book, so don't do it. Make new friends, join new organizations, enlarge your social orbit. Then, 2, variety in people, like variety in anything else, adds spice to life and gives it a broader dimension. It's good mind food. Number 2, step to make your social environment first class. Select friends who have views different from your own. In this modern age, that was 60 years ago, true more than ever today, the narrow individual hasn't much future. Responsibility and positions of importance gravitate to the person who is able to see both sides. If you are a Republican, make sure you have some friends who are Democrats and vice versa. Get to know people of different religious faiths, associate with opposites, but just be sure they're persons with real potential. They're quality people. But now with social media, man, this is more true than ever. I got friends, family members, people that are connected, they're deranged pro-Trumpers, and they're connected to only deranged pro-Trumpers, and they're only in groups with deranged pro-Trumpers, and they are absolutely just continue to be more and more deranged. Same goes for the deranged anti-Trumpers, who, by the way, I guess it's just natural, but the anti-Trumpers are a lot more deranged about Trump than the pro-Trumpers are happy about Trump. But anyway, the deranged anti-Trumpers that only hang out with other deranged anti-Trumpers, and so they don't even, or the people that only watch the ridiculous anti-American, liberal, left-leaning Marxist CNN and stuff, and will never tune into Newsmax or Fox News, or the Fox News or Newsmax viewers that will never watch MSNBC. A lot of times I'll finish work for the day, I'll walk in the living room, my beautiful wife Michelle was watching TV, and she's watching CNN, or she's watching MSNBC, or she's watching the Fox News. We're watching them all. In fact, we have a channel here on our cable that has I forget what it's called, the News Mix or something. It's got 6 stations at once. They're all up there, and so you can click around with the remote and you zero in on one, and then the sound comes on that one. So you can read what's going on the bottom of the screens, and you can kind of see what guests are on or what politicians are on which ones. And it's important to me to get all sides, see what's going on. That's number 2 here, to help make your social environment first class. Open yourself up to different viewpoints. And number 3, select friends who stand above petty, unimportant, gotta turn the page with one hand here, things. So hang out with friends who are above petty, unimportant things. Folks who are more concerned with the square footage of your home or the appliances you have or don't have than they are with your ideas in your conversation are likely to be petty. Guard your psychological environment. Select friends who are interested in positive things, friends who really do want to see you succeed. Find friends who breathe encouragement into your plans and ideals. If you select petty thinkers as your close friends, you will gradually develop into a petty thinker yourself. And that'll do it for today's episode of Foundation Friday, another in our multi-part series on the fantastic foundational book, The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David J. Schwartz. Go out, get yourself a copy. Get it dog-eared, underlined, highlighted, read it over and over and over. Get it to a friend or a family member, someone you care about, someone you want to have more success and more happiness in their life. I can tell you that book will pay dividends thousands and thousands of times over. That'll do it for today. Thanks for being here today. Enjoy your weekend. It has really, temperatures dropped down here. It's down to only 95 degrees right now, a little after 6 o'clock at night. So we're in for another beautiful weekend here. Hope it's fantastic where you are too. And I will catch you tomorrow on Social Media Saturday. Over and out. Bye-bye.